Well, a warm welcome to you all. I'm JJ. I am a life coach and I eat mostly meat.
I'm Eric. I'm a novelist and I eat beef, bacon, eggs, coffee, and sardines. And so I eat a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you
and
do.
It's made me big and strong but lean. Unlike my older days when I was not as lean.
No, not as lean. Oh my goodness. Speaking of not as lean.
Are you going to talk about the video?
I'm going to talk about
We
the
don't
video.
have it to show though.
I could have sent it, but
I wasn't ready.
you weren't ready for this, yo. I was digging back. It's the end of our theater season coming up here soon. So I was digging back into old photos and videos and came across an audition recording from January 2020 of me teaching some of our kids a dance routine for the audition. And I seriously was like, who is that? Wait, that's me. I was quite plump. And I had no idea. You've said this before. Like, you didn't see me as being that plump either.
I guess you're just used to seeing you as you were.
It was crazy. I could not believe it. And that is not even my highest weight.
No?
No, I don't think so. I was getting there, but I had that spot before I started seeing our doctor, our current doctor, where I gained another like 15 pounds in 6 weeks. So I was already having issues, but I was not quite at that point yet.
Well, on your frame, that was, it was a burden.
Yeah. I could, like I said, could not even recognize myself.
And so that would have been 2 years later, you would have started carnivore. And,
Correct.
And now it's over like almost 2.5 years now since carnivore.
Yes.
So even though you're 4.5 years older than that.
Yeah, almost 5 years older.
You are much younger of spirit and energy.
Yeah, totally energy.
And it's due to carnivore.
It is. It is absolutely due to that. And overall, what carnivore has helped me to do is to get my insulin down, to lower my insulin. And that's another thing that happened this week it was my fastiversary.
Ooh.
It was. So before I came to carnivore, my doctor, when I gained even more weight in a very short span of time, found a new doctor because I knew my hormones were clearly off. And he recommended that I start using an eating window, IF.
Yeah.
Which you had actually talked about. You always bring things home and I discount them. But you bring a lot of stuff home. A lot of ideas.
I like ideas.
Yes. So he prescribed it for me. And that was my start into things. And that was 3 years ago this week that I started with the intermittent fasting. And then it was about 7 months later that I started with my
Carnivore.
mostly meat carnivore
and
diet.
It's been a huge transformation.
It has been. And the reason I went to carnivore is because I saw the need to lower my insulin even more. Just the eating window was not doing it for me. Although I did experience benefits fasting.
I needed to do carnivore and get rid of dairy in order for me to get to my full weight loss.
Yeah.
But we're all different. I've added some dairy back in since.
Yes. Yep.
Without too many difficulties, but I'm not everyday thing.
No.
But I wish that I had that kind of video or photo that I could look at and compare, but I just don't have that many photos because I'm not the subject of the photos that I take.
He says this every time, almost every time. It's almost like, talking about some of the good doctors we talk about. And I actually do have quite a few photos of him, but they don't, you're sitting in a couch, you don't see.
Yeah.
It doesn't look that bad. Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
You look doughy, but
I look good in all my forms.
Yeah, that must be it.
I see Darth Carnivore is here. Hey, Darth Carnivore, it's good to see you.
Hello.
We need more people in the chat. Where are you? Who are you? Where are you from? Are you new here? Or have you been watching us for a while? Let us know.
Well, we have a beautiful weather evening on this Friday evening.
It's gorgeous.
And so maybe some other people in the country are experiencing
that could be,
amazing
right, yeah.
Friday.
Here in southeastern Wisconsin, it's mid-70s, sunny, very windy, but just absolutely sensational day. And I was out in it doing work on the property.
Me too. I did a little work.
And then I got kind of tired because I was hungry and I ate some sardines. But now I'm hungry again and I wanted my steak, and I'm going to be having it late because we're live and I'm not going to eat a steak live.
Maybe that's what we should do. Remember Mike Myers on Saturday Night Live who did Coffee Talk?
Yeah, I remember that.
Maybe we should do Steak Talk.
A steak break.
Steak break.
But it's hard to talk while chewing.
That is true.
Although it didn't stop my mom.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Hi, Lisa. How you doing? It's good to see you here. Thank you for
Welcome.
joining us. We are home now here with our daughter, home from college for spring break. And she goes back Sunday.
Yes.
And she's been cooking the things. Like she made some sort of carby mac and cheese thing one day, and then she made a whole thing of rice. So she's been putting us to the test.
That said,
with the smells in the air.
that said, she has been trying to focus a lot more on protein since she's been home. She realizes, oh, geez, here we go again. She realizes that she is not getting enough, especially at school. So she's been trying to eat a lot of eggs, and she asked me to get her some ham. She's been eating some ham. So, yeah.
And that's why the eggs vanish faster than usual, because I go through them pretty quick. But then since she's been home, they just vanish, disappear from the refrigerator.
And she's gotten really good at cooking eggs.
Yeah.
Different egg
Uses the flat top.
masterpieces. Yeah, really good. So I'm pleased to see that. I mean, yes, there are the other forays, but she's working on getting some protein in.
So on Tuesday, we had a video come out, which was the meat method. And the thumbnail was something about what to say to steak shamers. And it was a pretty funny thumbnail because I had an AI generated steak shamer shaking her finger at JJ. But we had some good comments about what meat could stand for.
Yes.
But I've been thinking about it a lot. I've had no occasion to use it since then because I haven't talked to anybody.
Well, I have. And actually, the steak shamer made me think of this just now. So I got together with a relative this week, and this relative last week sent me information on male health and the many vegetables that would help with male health.
For prostate health.
For prostate health, yes. And the same relative wanted to split a sandwich with me when I saw them at the coffee shop this week. And this relative knows, but has a little lapse in memory or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems to me like it's not a lapse. It seems like an on purpose to me.
Yes. So I'm not being shamed, but
But you didn't use the meat method on that person and say, here are all the benefits that I've gotten from meat.
no, not back in the day when I first came out of the carnivore.
No, but just this past week.
No, I was shocked. I said, I can't eat bread. That literally is what came out of my mouth because I haven't eaten bread in almost 14 years. So
Now, we did have a person here who was going to do some service around the house. And definitely needed to know about the meat method, but it wasn't really the appropriate moment and context to try to lecture a stranger on carnivore.
No.
Now I know some of you might actually have taken the challenge and just gone in and done it, but I already didn't want to talk to this person, so it was easy for me to not do it.
I felt for him though. He said he'd gained a few, there wasn't an opening, but he's like, oh yeah, I've gained some pounds the last few years, and he's a former veteran, and I don't know, maybe about our age. It's a little hard, maybe a little bit older.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
A little hard to tell, and working a somewhat physical job, and so
Could really benefit.
yeah, it would be a big benefit.
I'm just too shy. I'm a terrible salesperson. I will not pitch somebody on anything. I always have to wait to be asked.
Well, yeah.
It's a miracle I ever got married.
Yeah, but you told me before we were dating or anything.
We don't need to hear this.
It's coming out. Everyone wants to know. No, he said to me that his future wife or whatever, girlfriend, was going to show up at his door. And I'm like, oh yeah, right. How's that going to happen? But then I ended up showing up at his door.
I don't remember saying that.
Yeah, you were. I couldn't believe it. I was
Because
like,
that sounds extraordinarily conceited.
how? Well, no, your point was that you weren't going to have to be extroverted and go out of the house.
Well, and that was true.
And that was true. And I was like, well, how are you going to meet anyone pre-internet? How are you going to meet anyone if you're just sitting at home? But I was probably saying that to you while sitting in your home.
Who knows? I don't like that story.
Oh, I think I do.
Well, clearly.
Well, I was just so incredulous. I was like, and then
it happened.
And then it happened. So yeah.
Maybe I used the secret on you.
That's what I feel like. You manifested it.
I manifested you when you already existed. Darth Carnivore says, meat is the way.
It is. I've been practicing it when I'm driving as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The whole spiel, the rundown?
A little bit, yep.
Now,
Yeah.
what was your rundown for meat?
It was mental health. It was energy. Then I like to go to transformation though. So I'm sort of going meta.
Oh, meat is meta. You can't do it out of
So
order.
then I go, and then I go up to ancestral.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like ancestral, but I think I would use appetite control when trying to sell it to someone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because ancestral, then you've got to try to convince them of the fact of it. I don't know.
That's true.
I overthink everything. And that is one of my superpowers and weaknesses.
Yes.
Hey fam. Hi Chans. It's good to see you. We know you've got a new video. We haven't watched it. We watched that one. We watched that together. And so we've been busy with our daughter this week, but we will be watching that. So you'll be hearing from us on that. We were glad to see it though, that it was there. And Boyd. Hello. I see the Jimi Hendrix face. I like it. Body by Beef UK. Hey. I love your Carnivore Show song, dancing around the house to it. Well, thank you so much. We talked about it. We were like, well, we saw the stats after our last live. People just bail when we play that song. So, but we'll play it at the end.
We will play it at the end. What's funny is this sort of recording setups in our lower level. And I came down here last week to just do some work down here. But my brain kept running that song in my head, just being down in this lower level where I hear it the most. It's like it auto played in my brain.
Well, thank you for joining us, Body by Beef. I don't think I've seen your face here before, so we're delighted to see you. Deb, greetings. Love your show. Well, thank you.
Hello, Deb.
It's good to see you here on the live. Yeah. Yes, Jimmy.
Nice.
So I've never talked about this on this show, but
okay.
I do know how to play the guitar.
Yes, he does.
And there would have been a time in my life where there would have been no chance I wouldn't have already played it. But I'm so grateful YouTube did not exist back
Oh yeah.
when I was trying to be a rock star, because then the video would be out there with my perm and my extraordinarily fast guitar playing that wasn't necessarily tidy.
I have very fond memories. So even though I didn't like you at the time in high school, I do have fond memories of going up into your room and watching you play guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't your kind of music.
It wasn't, but it was cool to me that you could do it.
Yeah.
You could do it.
Maybe one day I'll find some royalty-free backing track and in the depths of a live session here, when you know only the diehards are with us, I'll play a 2-minute guitar solo for everybody. Darth Carnivore says, I just got my Body by Bacon t-shirt in the mail today. I haven't seen that shirt, so I'm going to have to look that up. For those of you who don't know Darth Carnivore, he was on our channel and has had extraordinary progress.
Wasn't it 100? I feel like
I think it was more than that.
I think
It's
100 pounds. He'll let us know.
maybe twice that.
Oh.
Chance says, I see the cow isn't stealing the show tonight. It
Well-
was right before we went live. The cow kept drawing focus. I don't know what's going on with the camera because
200.
even when I turned autofocus off, it would only focus on the cow. I think our camera has gone carnivore. It only cares about the beef.
Only has eyes for the steak.
That was so irritating because when we are filming our pre-recordeds, we don't see ourselves monitored on a big screen. So I just assumed I hit the button to focus it and then we go. And then, of course, the autofocus changed. And so that video was mildly ruined by that, but it actually did okay.
Yeah. I had meetings that night, so re-recording was going to be challenging, but also we wouldn't have been able to get the spontaneity
It's hard, yeah.
if we had re-recorded.
Because I know this will shock you. We do not script our shows. And
Usually,
so
yeah.
we have outlines frequently,
Yeah.
but we don't script every single line that we say. I know that'll be
Very
it would
shocking.
blow your mind.
Yes, it is.
Yes. 200 pounds.
Geez, I was grossly underestimating.
Yes.
Holy
Yeah.
cow. Well, what can I say? I didn't realize I was so plump when it was 2020 either. So clearly,
We will definitely be revealing that video in a new video to come because it's a very good before picture for
oh
JJ.
my goodness. Oh my goodness.
You didn't love it.
I didn't.
You didn't love seeing that.
Well, but I like being on the other side. What if, if I had not found carnivore, that could have been, I wish I were that weight before. Like I could be heavier now, wishing that I was the weight in 2020.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It absolutely could be the case, but it isn't. Sweet, you're a guitarist. I'm a drummer of 55 years. My main influences are Mitch Mitchell, Bill Bruford, and Jim Capaldi. Well, as a guitar player, my influences are vast and deep. And when YouTube came out and all these no-name YouTube guitar players started to show that they were better than my favorite guitar players, I did lose heart for a long, long time and said, I don't think there's any way to compete. And that revealed I saw it as a competition, so I failed. But now I just play for myself. I put backing tracks on and I play solos until I get tired, and then I don't do it for a while.
Yeah.
Shocker that we don't do a script. Yeah. And Chans is also cannot believe that we do not have a script for our videos because, we speak with such fluidity. But in truth, when we when I go back to our first videos and remember how I had to edit those, we were insufferably bad at talking. And I had to focus. I had to take out so many long pauses. And the thing is that my whole family will talk like that. And I don't know if we do it on just because we're trying to think of the next word, or if we're trying to make it emphasized by that long pause. Like we're like giving you a delay so you can catch up to our brilliance. And then we will finish the thought so you can go, oh, I see how it fits together.
I think there's 25% of that and 75% of you all getting in your heads and thinking about what you're saying.
Now, what is the reason why you start sentences in the middle and then back up and go back to the beginning and then go to the end?
That also, you didn't realize how much I did that till we started these videos.
No, because I was so used to it.
No, I know that I do that. And it is a thing that I don't know. I start in the middle of things and I've got to backtrack. I feel like I have to backtrack. But you did mostly break me of the habit years ago of going back to the beginning of time. Because I used to rewind way far.
That's true. She would start a story and she'd be like 3 sentences and she'd like, wait, let me back up. And then she would literally go back 10 years because there was important context. It's fun. It's fun to think about that, but not always conducive to getting the point across.
Oh,
on
absolutely
a YouTube
not.
video. So which was what we're trying to do.
Which is why in my life coaching work, I like slides. I'm really good at creating slides, just sort of keep me on track and not starting in the middle of a thought.
Everybody's like, well, when are they going to talk about carnivore?
We've talked a little
We
bit.
did that.
Yeah, we're done. No, what I wanted to say, one carnivore thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Is we've had a little bit of a low energy week this week, you and I.
Yeah, that's true.
A little unusually low. It might be the change of weather, the change of time, which I know it's been a couple weeks now. Could be our daughter home. We've been eating a little later.
Yeah,
and
definitely later.
There's a lot of whys. Why is this happening? Why? And yesterday was a fuzzy brain day. And again, I don't experience that this much on carnivore anymore, but it happens every now and then. Fuzzy brain, lower energy, still more than I've ever had before, probably.
Oh, yeah.
But not feeling optimal. And I heard Dr. Kiltz's voice telling me something. I wish I could do an impression. I can't. That almost sounded like
could too.
Oh
that
my
would be
goodness.
Great.
But he was I heard him saying, when a lion needs to take a nap, he takes a nap. He feasts and then he naps. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't really need to think about the why. The lion just needs to take a nap. Oh.
And that's actually appropriate because in the mornings when she gets up, her hair is like a mane, a lion's mane. It's incredible how much body her hair can have.
I have wanted to see, again, not carnivore, and it's not because of carnivore, it's a genetic thing, but I've wanted to see how big I can get it. Maybe I should do that for a video in the future.
Well, I'll be a good contrast to that.
Although I don't know.
There might not be room enough for me in the frame if you did that. Hope is here. Hey, Hope. Haven't made a live in forever.
Oh, yeah.
Listening
hello.
while I make some carnivore appetizers for a dinner party tomorrow. Ooh. Well, now I want to know more about what these appetizers are, since I'm kind of hungry right now. Carnivore Chan's natural and organic is best. I don't even watch mine at all. So you're saying you don't watch your own videos?
I don't usually watch mine either. You watch them.
I have to edit them.
Well, that's true. But you often watch them again.
Yeah, but that's because I start to get into the art of the edit, and I know the things I changed, and then it gets tighter. So I enjoy that process. Since return to the office mania the past few months, I've received unsolicited compliments daily on my transformation by friends and coworkers alike, but normally they don't ask me how.
That's what I experienced. And again, I lost 30 pounds. It was nothing like your transformation, but very few people ever asked me anything. Yeah.
Well, my theory is everybody thinks everybody's using Ozempic.
Mm-hmm.
And so they don't want to ask because they don't want to pry.
Yeah.
I think your mother thinks that at least you did it.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yes.
I'm not saying people shouldn't use it. I'm just saying
it's created
it's a part of a story. It's part of a strategy to, I think, get into carnivore.
Yeah.
Or at least keto.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it can be a great strategy. And I think it's created this thing where people make that assumption.
Yeah, they make the assumption.
So they don't ask.
Everyone hit the like button. We need the YouTube algorithm to realize how amazing content this channel. Yes, this is correct.
This is correct.
This is absolutely right. We cannot make the algorithm like us. We do our part, but the more you guys interact and hit the thumbs up and chat, leave comments, share with your friends and share with your enemies.
We so appreciate it. And we just love to see you in the chat as well. We just really love. The thing we love about Fridays is interacting with you.
That's right. Enchanted says, me too, low energy. Yeah, it does happen.
Yeah.
It does happen. Take a nap if you need one. A life coach and a novelist sticking to one subject is boring anyway. Carnivore is awesome, but we all need conversation as well. Well, that's true.
All right. He brought up life coach. I finished a huge project this week.
Oh, yeah.
It was an amazing, so glad. I'm creating a lot of content for the place that trained me, basically. I've been certified with them since 2008. So I know their stuff inside and out. And the way my brain works, I've been able to really create some good content and systems. And this is a project. All right. So it's this close to being done. I kind of misspoke, but it is 3 years. I've been working on this project for 3 years. And so it was content. It was a lot of creation of 40 different tool worksheets and explanations. And now I've finished the slides for the training videos. So they go back to the owner of the company. She will make her changes. And then all I'll have to do is record them. So to me, that's nothing. That's going to take, a week. And that's not like a week being in the studio all day. That's just like doing a couple a day for a week, and that'll be done. So the creative portion is done. I wanted it done by April, and I did it. I finished the other piece of it last year before April too. It was like my deadline, but we're going to be getting busy with the property.
Yeah.
So I still have some projects that I'm doing for them, but that was the one I needed off the plate. So it is off. Oh, so there's more to this.
Oh, okay.
So I celebrated by trying. I've been cooking a lot lately, different things. And this was Maria Emmerich's keto cake. It was a gâteau chocolat for two or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But it was made with eggs, Equip primal protein powder, or whatever it's called, Equip protein powder, butter, and some allulose, cocoa, and I think that's gelatin. I think you always throw gelatin in. That was about it. So it was again keto, but pretty dang clean.
It was small, a little
And they were,
ramekin.
yeah, a little
It
ramekin.
was a nice little treat.
Yeah, but it was definitely my celebration. I still feel like I have to celebrate with food sometimes.
That was a big project.
Yeah.
Lisa says, I gave up on trying to order the Typher. The price kept changing every other day. The coupon never worked. I ended up getting a Ninja Speedy 303. I am obsessed. I don't know anything about the Ninja Speedy.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that was on our list when we had to make the decision. So I think that's a phenomenal choice.
That's not, no, I'm thinking of the Tasty.
Yeah, that one too. The Tasty is what I think Bella has.
Yeah, I don't remember them.
Yeah.
But, well, congratulations. And I'm glad that it's working out for you.
Yes.
It's good to know that. We did have our Typher fail, but their customer service was excellent. And they got us a new one before we even had to send the old one back.
Yeah.
Simpson says, hi, JJ and Eric.
Hello again,
It's good
Simpson.
to see you back here on the live.
Yes.
Lisa's been sous videing chuck roasts, and they're so tender.
I don't think I've sous vide'd a chuck roast. So give me the deets. How long? What temperature?
Yeah, what temperature?
Please. Please.
Carnivore Chan says, congratulations, JJ.
Oh.
Boyd says, clapping. Enchanted says, hands yellow, heart red.
Yeah, I don't think it could handle all the emojis for some reason. I don't know. Thank you very much. It has been a huge project, and one that I had wanted to do for a good 10 years or so.
And you did it.
And I did it.
It seemed like it took 10 years.
It did. It did. Oh, and also the play is wrapping up. I'm just a couple weeks out of having the play finish up too. I mentioned that earlier. So yeah, things are winding down for the summer season.
That's not even summer.
No, it's not. But then I'm ready for the
I see
summer
what you're saying.
season, and you'll put me to work.
Yeah, I've been I watched Dr. Boz and Dr. Baker's new video. I think it was on Dr. Baker's new channel, and that was pretty good. She talked about, it was interesting, she's big on the sardine fasts.
Yes.
And I eat sardines pretty much every day. But it was interesting because he was asking her about why sardines. And she said that when she tries to, because she wants to get people into a certain level of therapeutic ketosis, and she uses the Keto Mojo to track it. And she was like, people just overeat beef. If they try to do a beef fast, for instance. Or she said pork belly just didn't get the same results. People tended to overeat it. But with sardines, they're kind of self-limiting because people do kind of get maybe sick of it after a while. And so then as the sardine fast goes on, they eat fewer and fewer tins, which, then is basically energy restriction, and they get deeper into ketosis. So I just thought that was interesting because I had wondered about that, because I was like, well, what's magical about sardines? And she said she didn't know, other than kind of that speculation. But I feel like I could eat, like if that was the only thing I was eating, I feel like I could eat at least 6 tins a day with no problem.
I think that would be reasonable from what I've heard from other people.
It just seems like a lot.
Reasonable for a male your size.
Yeah. Have any of you done sardine fasting? I did it one day. It wasn't actually a sardine fast, really. Although one of my sardine tins had a little fin in there today, I ate it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I'm not shy about eating the fin.
I still haven't tried any.
Body by Beef says, I've been having histamine troubles on aged ribeye steaks. I think that's Michaela Peterson talks about the aged steaks being a problem. So I got grass-fed chuck in my slow cooker. So I'm hoping for breakfast to be tender, juicy, and delicious. Hopefully no histamine reaction. Yeah, that's something I have no direct knowledge of.
I have a family member who has histamine issues and eats the standard American diet. So, and I understand carnivore, like you're speaking of. It's not like that just goes away on carnivore. A lot of carnivores also have to be careful of that.
Focus.
The cow.
The cow is stealing focus again.
Nothing has changed. We haven't changed cameras.
Look at my face camera. There we go.
We haven't done anything. It's just weird.
Satisfying accomplishment, JJ.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Oh,
Temp is 130 for 24 to 38 to 30 hours.
okay.
3.25 pounds. Carrie has a video 2-3 weeks ago. 5 ways to cook a chuck roast. Stole the idea from him. Simpson said, I tried the sardine fast. I didn't see any results. But then again, my biggest problem is under eating, and you can't eat enough of those nasty fishes. So 26 to 28 hours would be best. Did I jinx it? Yes, you did. But if I sit in front of the cow a little bit, it won't do it. I think what happens is if I lean away, it doesn't have, see, it won't do it. It won't do it. The camera has a mind of its own.
So I haven't even told you this.
Uh-oh.
Today I did some computer work, found that video of myself
Which we can't show you.
from 2020, which we will. And then went outside to do some spring cleanup around the house and had to put in a podcast. So what did I put in? I searched on Dr. Georgia Eid.
Of course.
And I found a podcast, Healthful Pursuits is the name of it. It's from May of 2024. And why do I fall in love with her every time I hear her? It's just the way she talks about the diet, the way she talks about mental health, and I don't know. There's something about her. She's just so clear. She doesn't start her sentences in the middle of an idea and have to backtrack. I just love her messaging. But one of the things she talked about in this one that I've also noticed Dr. Westman talking about recently is sometimes the conversation around health almost distracts from what both Dr. Eid and Dr. Westman see as the root primary issue, which is metabolic issues.
Mm-hmm.
High insulin resistance, high blood sugar, and all of the damage that does to us that creates these chronic issues, whether they be health, physical health, or mental health. And so she was talking about how, especially these ideas around, you want good brain health, eat a pint of blueberries a day. All these things that are really distracting from that main thing. And Dr. Westman has been talking a little bit about lately how, yes, he is glad that the national conversation is talking about health in a different way. And yet, by focusing on some of these other things like food dyes and preservatives and even processed food, is distracting from the conversation that needs to happen about metabolic health.
Yeah, I've heard this rumblings of this, and I get it. But I don't know what the answer is, because I think it all has to be done.
Well, yeah.
And I don't think that, I guess I don't know if the country is ready to go keto.
To go keto, yeah.
I don't think the country's ready for that debate.
Yeah.
And so it's much easier to try to attack some of these other angles around what's happening to the food supply. But yeah, for me, whether or not the French fries are cooked in tallow or seed oils makes no difference to me, because you don't eat French fries. Just don't you shouldn't even have those.
Yeah.
but nobody's ready to have that level of conversation.
No. And Dr. Eid has some flexibility in her programs. She deals with people and predominantly says start with paleo is her big thing.
Yeah.
Start with paleo. You may have to go further, but 90 grams of carb paleo. Start there.
Which is a fine start.
Yeah.
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 If your carb addiction can handle
Well, yeah.
restricting to 90 grams of carbs. Mine cannot restrict for long.
And I didn't have, we've talked about this before when you've done keto in the past, and I dipped my toe in many, many years ago. For me, it wasn't even the carb addiction. It's just, it felt too complicated to me and not sustainable because I was trying to cook your meals / our meals according to those macros, and it was just hard.
Yeah.
It's
Agreed.
much easier to throw a steak in the cast iron skillet
And cooking steak is like muscle memory now.
yeah.
I've got it down such a process, and I always have eggs with my steak now.
Yes.
I just love to have the yolks with the steak.
You do cook your yolks. You're not like Bella who eats hers.
No, I
raw.
don't have them raw. Simpson says, Eid is my favorite. She and Judy Chow. I came into carnivore with agoraphobia, though. So the mental healing is, of course, an interest of mine. Love getting out now. It's been a year and a half.
Oh, congratulations on that win.
That is amazing.
And I've said it before, I feel like mental health, I did not have huge mental health issues. And yet it is the why at this point. I didn't know how much I was suffering from not having optimal mental health. And Dr. Eid says the same thing in this interview, that she didn't consider herself having, really any mental health issues until she experienced the after and was like, whoa, that was not great. But she also said in this interview that she feels like a lot of this has been normalized, that we think it's normal to have the low energy and the lower mood as we age and to be forgetting things as we age. And it's normal to have these stressors in life and not be able to get over them. And this grief that we can't get over and these traumas that we can't get over. And she says, so again, not minimizing those things, but that it's been so normalized that we don't realize that we're actually meant to recover and heal.
So it's very common, but that doesn't mean that it's normal.
Yes.
Just like type 2 diabetes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm delighted to see this message here. Mental health for my meat method, mental health is obviously the number is the M for me. E is energy. I think it's got to be energy.
What else did we have on the list? Do
We
you
had
remember?
efficiency.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Ease.
Something like, yeah. Yeah.
Blueberrytarians are definitely not fans of Dr. Eid.
No, they are not.
Yeah. I'm making fish balls. Salmon, tuna, and sardines, fried in bacon grease and Parmesan bacon knots. This sounds complicated to me. Friend is doing chicken wings and picana crispy. This sounds like a pretty delicious.
Ooh, this sounds kind of amazing.
JJ wouldn't be about the fish balls, but I'd eat those. But you might like them in bacon grease and bacon knots.
I was going to say, I would try that. I would actually try that because it sounds like it's disguised enough. I don't know about eating the fin in the sardine tin.
It was a little tiny fin.
I'm proud of you for eating the fin, though. I know that's good. There's probably some good collagen in there or something. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe I'll sprout gills. For those of you who haven't had sardines, there's no heads in the tin. You don't have to eat the heads. So don't worry about that. There are spines.
But
And there's no tails either.
That's good for you, though. The bones.
Yeah. There's little bones.
Little bones.
Very little. You crunch them up. They're good.
What were you saying about those silences that you used to have to edit out?
Yeah, I'm not editing this one out because it's alive. So if you're watching on replay, you're like, did they just stop? No, we just ran out of things to say. So we could wrap up.
Yeah, we've got nothing.
I've got something to eat. I got to get down my throat.
Yeah.
It's the crunch that gets me. I like the crunch. So I think we're going to wrap it up.
All right.
It's been wonderful spending this time with you guys. It's a gorgeous day, and I want to get out there in it.
You were going to
before it's
say
over.
we might go for a walk.
We're going to go
after.
for a walk and enjoy this beautiful weather.
Yeah.
So we will be back on Tuesday with a recorded video at 8 a.m. Central Time, and then back here Friday at 5:30 Central. So we'll see you next time.
Until next.
JJ and Eric, their lipids are high. Their doctors are worried they're both gonna die. Is LDL harmless? They sure hope it's so. It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show. Salad is toxic, seed oils are doom. They rub on tallow like greasy perfume. Ribeyes and bacon, that's all they know. It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show. No wheat, no kale, they're laughing at greens. 18-hour fasts are their favorite routines. Sugars for suckers, they're chomping on fat. Streaming to you live from the tallow vat. Eric's got muscles, JJ's got zen. They're coming to chat with their carnivore friends. So toss out the lettuce, embrace the beef glow. It's the JJ and Eric